Hey, it's Teen Atheist here. So, I was trying to figure out what video I should do today, and I decided I would do a story time video. So this story time is going to be the time that a missionary was flirting with me. And I know that's kind of weird, but it's a true story. It was around Christmas time. I would have just turned 15. I think it was like a week after my 15th birthday. And my mom's friend Stacy, who's Mormon, invited us to her house for a early Christmas dinner thing. So we decided to come because she's one of my mom's good friends. And so she also invited some other friends, family, and 2 missionaries. And so we got there. I was sitting on the couch. It was a little bit before food was ready. And then the missionaries showed up. There were 2 young men, probably like really early 20s. Yeah. And they came in. One of them immediately offered to go help Stacy with the food because it still wasn't completely done. And then the other goes and sits next to me. I'm sitting on a couch that's visible from the door. He just walks right up next to me. And I'm just sitting there, and so he starts talking, and I start talking back. It was just having a conversation, and it was good and all. And then, all of a sudden, he says, oh wait, I should probably give you some background information here. My lips had been very chapped. It was winter, and yeah, my lips were really chapped, and it was noticeable. And so he, somewhere in the conversation, goes, so who you been kissing? I'm like, what? He's like, who you been kissing? And I was just like, the heck? What kind of question is that? I'm like, none of your business? And he's like, alright, just wondering. And then it was kind of silent after that, so it was really awkward. So I decided to go in the kitchen because we're just sitting there silently awkward. And I go into the kitchen, and all of a sudden, the missionary from the couch shows up in the kitchen. And I was like, alrighty then. So then he goes next to me, and I'm just eating snacks from the table and stuff like that. Like, they put on a little tray thing with, like, snacks to eat while we waited for the food to be ready. And then the missionary comes next to me. And so he's like, so you have a boyfriend? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's too bad. You looking for a new boyfriend? And I was kind of silent for a second because I was just thinking, what the heck? And I was like, no. He's like, guess you're missing out. And he walks away. And so I was just kind of weirded out by all that, but I was like, okay, whatever. And so then finally they were like, everything was ready, and Stacy and her dad were telling everybody to get to the table. So I sat down next to my mom, and on the other side of me sat the missionary. I cannot talk today. And so, like, the whole time, he was, like, sitting right next to me and just kept looking at me. And it was kind of weird. So then after we ate, I finished, I asked to be excused from the table. I went and I sat back down on the couch that I initially had been sitting on. And then once again comes Mr. Missionary, and he just kept coming back, I guess. But so he sits next to me again, and I'm just kind of sitting there quietly, like, kind of want to get up, but I kind of don't want to be rude. And so then he's like, have I told you you're cute? I'm like, no. He's like, well, you are. I was like, thank you. And then at that point, the other missionary comes out, and he's like, dude, would you leave that girl alone? And he's like, we're just talking. And then he's like, yeah, sure, and walks away. And I could tell he was annoyed. And so then I look over, and the missionary dude that's sitting next to me on the couch is still staring at me. And I'm just like, okay, this is awkward. But yeah, so after that, he continues to talk to me, and, like, we have a conversation, because I'm not gonna, like, not talk to him. I'm not rude like that. So we talked. There was still a little bit more flirting. And then finally, the other missionary dude who had come back in during our conversation and was kind of standing there giving the other dude the evil eye the whole time. And so then he finally says thank you to Stacy and says that they have to get going, and then everybody says bye to them. And he, the missionary who had been flirting with me, tries to hug me, and I just kind of push him away, and he's like, I hope you have a great rest of your day, sweetheart. And I was like, okay, this is weirder than it was earlier. And so then they all say goodbye and all that, and both of them leave. And so then when they're gone, Stacy was kind of upset. She's like, okay, was it just me, or was that one missionary was the blonde-haired missionary? Because I was trying to think what she said exactly. I think she said was the blonde-haired missionary flirting with Katie the whole time. And I'm like, yeah. And so I didn't even realize that Stacy had noticed that, but she was really upset, and apparently she went and complained to their, like, whoever was supervising them or something. I forgot what it's called, which I shouldn't have, because my cousin just went on a mission. But yeah, I thought that was a funny story, because it's not every day that a missionary flirts with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed my story. I will be making more videos on like topics like of things going on and recent events and stuff, and that's really my plan. I'm gonna look into more things so I can get more ideas out there and just pick which ones I feel are best and which ones I should make a video about. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and there are definitely more to come. Have a nice rest of your day, everybody.